today. Hope you're doing well, swell, and otherwise. Okay, so shift this just a little bit. Anywho, I'm gonna do a collective reading today. As you may be aware, we did have a full moon right before the weekend. So if you're like, man, everybody is acting super crazy this weekend, maybe that's why, because they're releasing some of that full moon blah, you know what I mean? And that's exactly what it is, just blah. Um, Sometimes we don't really know how to make sense of things in this world, and just shaking a groove thing every now and then will help fix that right up, okay? So, if you're still with me, please like or subscribe. I would appreciate the help in passing around the messages to the appropriate people. So, if this is not your message today, don't sweat it. It could also be happening to somebody that's close around you and in your energy, especially if you are an empathic or intuitive person. So, if this reading is still interesting to you, stay tuned. So, since it is Sunday, I'm going to use the Grateful Dead Tarot, which I like to do on Sundays. For the family fam, feel me fam? Okay. If you feel me fam, also, I do have a music channel out there called Ophelia's Band where I upload different music, including my own originals. So I would appreciate your support there as well. And since this reading is 100% free to you, it would be 100% free for you to me to click that like or subscribe button and help pass these messages around to those who are in need of them. So, what does this collective need to know today? I have had this Everclear song. They're a band from the 90s, if you don't know. And the song is called Father of Mine. Um, they might have played it on the radio today, but it's just been like really stuck in my head. I hadn't heard that song in a long time. Interesting. This was started on the bottom of the deck, and you saw how much I shuffled these cards. Knight of Wands. So, talk about shaking your groove thing. If perhaps for some reason you did not do that this weekend, you need to get like on it stat, okay, is what this card is saying. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries as well may be significant for you. The Three of Swords, and yeah, because you're not going to be in a stagnant energy, are you? Where three is a crowd, where you may not belong, where things didn't turn out the way you wanted, where yada, yada, yada. Keep naming excuses. You can do it all day, right? It's like a little kid that doesn't want to go to sleep. What do they tell the little kids? Just close your eyes and lay there, right? Chariot. Hearts on fire. This journey that you are on, collective, you're not slowing down for anybody. You're just like hoping that they're gonna hop in and like tag along in a way. And you've been disappointed in the past, especially with romantic partnerships where those people were just not, they weren't up with it. You know what I mean? Like, some people support their partners and other people live separate lives, and if they want to continue living that separate life to the extent where you're just never involved in each other's lives, well, then you have your answer that that's not the correct partner for you. But here with the chariot, it is. So, um, keep focused on your goal. So that might come back to the sometimes I forget. Like sometimes I forget that, there's something better coming for me, right? And no matter what, almost my thoughts on the situation, as long as I'm doing my due diligence here, then it's going to come and then it's going to come out. All right. This is also full moon energy as well. The Cancerian moon. Okay. Which in sidereal astrology, we did just have a full moon in Cancer. Okay. In Western astrology, it was in Leo. Again, if you are not familiar with astrology, please check out your chart, and I recommend that you look up both Western and Vedic, okay? Because it may make more sense to you one way or the other and based upon your current timeline. 5 of Swords. Yeah, you're backed up with the 7. Yeah, you are not taking it lying down is what I heard. One thing about this collective, they are very strong, okay? And that's why you're like kind of on this track, and it's kind of, I don't want to say like bulldozing whoever gets in your way, but like obviously, if you're running at full speed, who's the idiot that's going to try and step right in front of you? I mean, have you ever seen a football game? That person's going to get knocked the F out. And, you know, who could blame the runner in that case? All right. So these swords, these snakes, these little chatty Cathys that have been out there and I would say disrupting your path to a happy relationship, okay, with their like kind of negativity around the situation. I feel like you found a way to work around it, okay? And it's just kind of one of those things where, somebody is like, the bad guy in the story at times, right? And, if the bad guy gets flattened, well, now obviously I'm not saying to go out and do anything to harm anybody, but some people, they suffer from their own actions, right? It's nothing that you are doing. So I feel like one of the messages that's coming through here is that you need to let other people, I heard, suffer their karma, okay? And you could say that karma is suffering, right? Because we are here, on a path towards enlightenment, but fools we can be. And here is the Judgment card. So the more that you open up, collective, kind of, and say, yes, I am on the right path, okay, you're going to start feeling not jostled, not like the wind at your face to the point where, it's like you need this help, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like this chariot that's carrying you through. It's kind of like your help right now, because it's like, well, what if I forget what my purpose is? What if I'm not sure about what I'm working on at the moment? You know what I mean? You have to have some kind of faith. And here with the Judgment, you should be getting that. All right. Now, other people could think that that also means that you're here to help them. And you very well may be. However, just remember, guarding that heart, that not everybody deserves your energy. Okay. So let's continue on. Look like I saw somebody saying hello in the chat, so hello to you. The Terrapin of Bears, who is on this deck as the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so clearly understanding, collective, that you have success lying ahead for you. Okay. Other people may have not visualized this success for you, this level of success. Maybe they actually wanted something else to be happening to you. Even something like where they were planning and plotting against you, and that could have been happening in some kind of third party situation. That could be somebody wanting to get back at you for whatever reason, real or imagined. And the thing about the human mind is that no matter what is said, like the brain will treat that as reality, right? So, like if you repeat the story of, oh, I always end up with jerks who cheat on me, like, maybe the next person you're with is going to be, dun, 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 you know what I mean? So, because yes, maybe that happened. However, does that mean that your future has to be that way? No. Okay. So, again, continuing on towards your goal, collective, is going to help you maintain that focus. Okay. Again, so that wind is going to be helping to carry you over. All right. And carry you over some of these emotional things that I feel like people keep throwing at you here, especially with this Five of Swords in your heart chakra. It's just like they just want to keep pulling at you for some reason and involving you in situations that really you have maybe you may have zero knowledge of who these people even are, what their relationship has been, maybe with a person of your past, where it did not work out. And obviously, it didn't work out for a reason if that person is not with you, right? So, maybe they went off and did things with this person, but you have no idea who that other person even is, and now it's like people are trying to say that you broke up so and so, and it's like, I don't even know you. And for that matter, I don't want to know who you're boinking and bonking, and do you know what I'm saying? Unless it's directly related to me. And in this case, again, you know what I mean? Especially for the people who are like single or, not in that kind of relationship with anybody right now, it's like, dare I state the obvious? And it's kind of just like crazy karmics. So I don't think this, this Cheria is not going to let you get stuck on these other people's like wild fantasies and emotions, and especially when it comes to the root chakra here, and because especially with like the Knight of Wands, it's like, oh well, they had somebody who looks good and somebody who's going to flirt with people and be getting it on with whoever. And you know what, they are in their right to do so, right, being a individual who's unattached. That doesn't mean that you are doing that, collective, but it is also within your right to do so. So again, jumping over these people's kind of perception of what you're doing, again, that doesn't involve them at all. Now, when I say that, I mean that's because you're not out there making contact with these people, Now, that doesn't mean that somebody's not like looking at your social media, which, we all have, most people have a social media out there. And they're, creating conclusions based upon, data that they see. And they are free to do that as well, are they not? Right? That doesn't mean you have to run around correcting everybody. That doesn't mean you have to give credence to it. Um, and here's the thing, collective, 9 times out of 10, when you actually start confronting those people here with this truth, this judgment, okay, here in the throat chakra, when you actually start speaking your truth, like say those people end up being around you in a later circumstance, their jaws are going to drop because they're going to realize how fucking stupid that they were to judge you in the first place. They're going to feel really dumb. So what is in your crown? And this Ace of Pentacles that you have, it's also protected. I mean, I'm feeling a lot of protection coming through here um, to you right now. So kind of like I said before, like maybe maybe you went out over the weekend and you're like, why is everyone acting so funny? And it's like, oh, it's a full moon. It's like you're not letting all of this stuff get to you like everybody else is. And maybe it's because you've lived it, learned it, whatever. Yeah, Three of Cups. Um, that could even be somebody like coming back towards you and being like, "Oh, but we can make it work." And you're like, "Yeah, I can make it work, but I'm going to make it work with people who actually like me and who I want to celebrate with, not people who want to plot against me for whatever reason." I mean, I don't care if you think you're going to win $1 million, right? And we've all seen those shows on TV, what people will do for a little bit of money. It's really disgusting, the human species, what they will do. Anyway, I try not to watch too much of that stuff because otherwise you'd never want to leave the house or live your life. And again, that's kind of one of these things when people are talking here and they're trying to create situations around like your partnerships. And it's like, you know what? You don't know shit from Shinola. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know how I've been interacted with these people. Okay. So you don't get to dictate what kind of relationships I have. And maybe because you're a fuck up, good for you. That doesn't mean I have to be. You know what I mean? Just because we've talked to the same people like once or twice in our life, again, that doesn't mean we're the same. We are not the same. All right, I'm getting called to do some clarification here, you guys. I had a feeling that this is going to be a little bit rowdy, just because post full moon vibes and all of that schnaz. Part of this too, I feel like when the full moon passes, that's the beginning of illusions. Okay, things that we thought were there that are really just like, oh, like that's not really what I thought it was. So let's get some clarification here, what the collective needs to know in regards to the people or persons and their energy. Oops. Like, who's upside down now? Oh. Dun, da, da, da. The 10 of Pentacles. Wow. So, again, I feel like people thought you're just going to be out here like being loose and wild and all this stuff. And you're like actually so focused that this is the type of thing that you're manifesting. Okay. And that could include with a partner here. Okay. Or, with a family. All right. So, some people could be like, oh, well, they're on a one-way track or blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe I am. And maybe I'm the one that laid the track, so I know exactly where I'm going with it. Did you ever think of that? You know? Maybe that's how it was designed to begin with. And once you stop, I had to post this meme the other day. It was one of those like, when people say Jesus take the wheel, and it was a picture of like Jesus next to like all the wheels that he's saved up. He had him on his wall like hubcaps or whatever. Yeah, because it's like when you stop trying to control what you can't control, which is other people, like you can only control yourself. You can influence others, yes, but it's always best to lead by example, right? And just do well for yourself, and hopefully, others will follow or want to follow, okay? Or you're going to find, more of your tribe and things of that nature, okay? And that's exactly what's coming up here with this 10 of Pentacles, all right? And not only that, you're passionate about it. Okay. And some people might be jealous of that. All right. Because they're like, don't feel passionate about anything in life. And that's in part why they go around doing this because they're bored. They just don't have anything else to do because their brains are, probably stunted in some way. Let's be honest. Because people who are emotionally and physically, spiritually and mentally healthy do not go around trying to manipulate other people for, their own nefarious purposes. And that even being their codependency. Okay. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah. There were some seeds that you planted, seeds that have been growing, seeds where, oops, people thought they were going to be in on the deal, and they're kind of finding out that you're not really in the mode to be sharing everything anymore because it's like when you take your treats to the birthday party, right? Say it's your birthday, and then you give away so much of the food, then there's none left for yourself, right? Like you always have to save a piece of cake for yourself, right? Okay. Unless you got a reserve cake at home. I mean, I didn't do the cooking, which so, and there's people there that would gladly eat that cake and not give a rip that you didn't get any. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so think about that. Ooh, the lovers, Gemini, right on top of this chariot. Who would you want in your chariot with you except your lover, right? Do you ever see that skit on SNL and they're calling each other? It's Will Ferrell in the skit. They're calling each other their lover, my lover. It's just so funny, because people don't really, use that language anymore. Anyway, these two here are like, yeah, exactly. Let's get it on. This chariot is what I've been waiting for, and we got our 10 of Pentacles over here. We're ready to hit the road. And again, it's like whatever you've been able to salvage from this previous circumstance, you're now moving, it's like, it's like, you've already like taken off on the plane at the airport, like you're already mid-flight somewhere else. Okay. So again, those people that don't know how to ever like catch up, it's not going to be your problem because it's like you're going to find them at the next destination. Okay. So let's get a clarifier on this nasty old Five of Swords in the heart chakra that I spent quite a bit of time discussing. Quite a bit of time. The King of Cups, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, somebody coming in to heal your heart. And that is regardless of what they have heard, regardless of what they've been communicated to, regardless of maybe if they've been screwed over how many times? 5, 6, 7, 8, you know what I mean? Let me count the ways. Oh, look at that. One come out. 10 of Cups. So let's clarify this Judgment here and the throat chakra. Again, if you're feeling me, fam, please a like or subscribe would be ever so nice. Emperor Aries. A lot of masculine energy coming through this reading. The last one I did was more feminine. But here we have the King of Cups and the Emperor. 10 of Pentacles. I feel like, Pentacles in general, very masculine, type energy. But the King of Cups here, also somebody who's, able to help you, like I said, help you navigate and not fester on these things that just didn't quite work. You know what I mean? You're like, well, yeah, maybe you were attracted to this person or whatever. Maybe you had some chemistry, like, but did it actually fulfill your need for security and safety and being on the right track? If it didn't, then it was not the right combination for you, right? And that's why now, jumping on into over this moon, the cow jumped over the moon. You ever hear that one? Even the cow had enough. Okay? They say when pigs fly, but what's that cow doing? Right? Saying, I'm going to beef it on out of here. And whose land is it on? An emperor's land? I mean, an emperor is not just somebody who, like, has a little condo. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Okay? Now, I understand today's economy, but you put it in perspective, all right? Now, oh, Lord have mercy. That's right. Because if it was so easy, wouldn't they have done it? Right? But yet they stand here and criticize you. Okay. What else does the collective need to know about this Ace of Pentacles, please, here in the third eye? The Seven of Cups. So, a little bit of inquiring minds, but definitely you have options here, collective. And it's like, it doesn't kind of matter what direction you're going in, like you're still going to get this Ace of Pentacles. And then it's kind of like, okay, well, does that mean you're going to put that into, a romantic partnership? Are you going to put it into a business? Are you going to do something that you've never done before? You have options here, all right? It's not like this is your last pentacle and you already got clarified with the 10 in the root, okay? So you have time and opportunity to be choosy, okay? Look who wanted to come out again, the 10 of Cups. Yeah, you're done with the guessing games. You're moving on to security. The delay of waiting, okay? You're like over it, right? Yeah. Because it's like you see who's up to their old tricks, you know what I mean? And who's not, like what's real and what's not in that situation. And when I say what's real, I mean like what's real and good for your benefit, okay? Like, I know we want to say like, are you for real when somebody like screws us over? But yeah, they actually really did that because that's who they really are. And, um, you know, that's just as good as they were able to do at the time, collective. And honestly, it really doesn't have much to do with you, right? It's, you just kind of cross paths with that person at the right time, okay? And it was the perfect storm. So now that you're out of that storm again, jumping over some of this emotional stuff and putting it how it needs to blossom, okay, here. And the right person with you knows how to get that out of you, okay? I feel like that's another thing in the past. It's kind of like you wanted to be passionate about things and you really wished that you could make things happen, but you just felt like you didn't have the right kind of support and love around you. Okay. Nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. Okay. So that's another thing that sometimes I forget, you know what I mean? Like when things look like, like you've hit this stagnation. You know, every single molecule that we breathe is constantly moving. You know, just me moving my hand like that, you know, did I change the course of the future and the vibration of the world? Okay. Think about those things that you're doing. All right. So again, that you don't have to end up being part of that never-ending story that somebody else wants to tell about you. Okay. And yes, maybe some of those things happened, but that doesn't mean you want to stay there, right? That doesn't mean you want to live there. You don't want to be stuck in grief. Okay. Some people never get through their grief and it becomes a lifestyle. All right. You know, me personally, I don't live in the age of Queen Victoria, so, you know, I want to move on with my life. And that's part of this judgment here, too. Okay. The Emperor letting you know that it's okay now to stand up, be noticed, and take your seat properly at the table that you righteously created. Okay. The other day it was the Empress, but this is very much coming through as the Emperor. What do you need to release? That moon, the full moon for shattering illusions, releasing things. Yes. Releasing people that think they can treat you instead of somebody to be celebrated as somebody to be put on the side where you actually belong front and center here, like with this 10 of Cups. Okay. So yeah, out with the old, in with the new, right? Ideas, people that reflect your values as a human being. Okay. What other message do we have here for this collective, please? And I think we'll close it out because we're pretty much already at over 30 minutes. You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. Yeah, if you're somebody who's kind of a perfectionist, which Virgo is known to be, you know, that could be something that sometimes we forget too, that it's like you're sitting here questioning, fussing, and you know, then it's like, well, wait a second. Why am I'm like at the 10 of Pentacles. Like, why do I need to sit here and question my worth right now? I don't. Okay. So this is the type of world that you've been creating for yourself. All right. One of my previous readings was titled Leave Well Enough Alone. You know, it's like, you know, it's about being grateful for the things we have, what we actually need in our lives, what we actually want in our lives. You know, because it's like, do I really need that second yacht? I don't know, right? Like, is that the kind of problem that you want? For some people, they do. Okay. And if you're tied in to something like that, all right, you may need to release something else in order for it to happen. Okay. Okay. I mean, I don't know. This Emperor could have a boat. I'm not sure. But part of that release here is this judgment as well. Okay. Releasing the judgment of others, releasing expectations of others. So again, we have Aries, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Gemini, Cancer. Okay. And Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius, Virgo. All right, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please manifest wisely. Until next time. Bye-bye.